Day, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings. Great to have you with us. I am Rush Limbaugh, and this is the one and only Excellence in Broadcasting Network, and we've got broadcast excellence for the next 3 hours just for you. Our telephone number, 800-282-2882, if you want to be on the program. The email address, lrushball@eibnet.com. Kill the music. Look at me. Ladies and gentlemen, there can be no other way to say this now. The gloves have to come off. It's time for people to sober up. The President of the United States, Barack Obama, is destroying the United States economy. There is no other way to describe this. Systematically destroying it. Rush, are you saying he's doing this on purpose? Not going there, it doesn't matter. What matters is the United States economy is being destroyed. Even the Associated Press, government-run Associated Press, with a headline, big government spending programs are having the opposite effect on the economy. They are concluding that you cannot spend yourself out of a recession. So what is President Obama planning to do? Spend even more, even sooner. Here is the AP story. The Federal Reserve announced a $1.2 trillion plan 3 months ago, designed to push down mortgage rates and breathe life into the housing market. But this and other big government spending programs are turning out to have the opposite effect. It is not just that they aren't working, they are hurting. They are harming. Anybody with a brain at the outset knew that this would be the result of massive Keynesian-type economic spending. The thing that I know, whether any of them will admit it or not, is that half of the people in the Obama administration know this as well. What I don't know is whether they're on board for it or whether it's simple party loyalty that is causing them to go along with this. I know the Democrat Party is oriented toward socialism. I know the Democrat Party is oriented toward big government and massive power. Now, I'm speaking specifically of the Democrat Party now. I'm still not convinced the Democrat Party wants to destroy the U.S. economy. I am convinced that Barack Obama, whether he wants to or not, is in the process of destroying it. This and other big government spending programs are turning out to have the opposite effect. Rates for mortgages and U.S. Treasury debt are now marching higher as nervous bond investors start to fret a resurgence of inflation. That is the catch-22 threatening to make an awful housing market potentially worse and keep the economy stuck in a funk. This is government-run Associated Press. Kickstarting the economy requires higher spending, but rising rates mean fewer Americans will be able to refinance their home loans. Kickstarting the economy does not require higher spending, if I may disagree. Kickstarting the economy has nothing to do with the government, other than the government getting out of the way, lowering the tax burden on businesses, small and large, and on individuals, so that businesses can hire, and so that individuals will be hired and start paying taxes and start earning income. We have a 25-year high in unemployment. We are 1.4% unemployment, higher than was predicted by the Obama administration and his Looney Tune of economic advisors, headed up by Austin Goolsbee. Now, this story is focusing on the housing market, and that is a crucial market because that's where most people have their greatest asset is their home, and most people's mortgages, or a lot of them, are underwater now. Some potential buyers for new homes are going to be shut out of the market by higher monthly payments they won't be able to afford because of this incessant spending. The White House is estimating the government will rack up an unprecedented $1.8 trillion budget deficit this year, and let's be honest, it's going to be over $2 trillion because the tax revenue that's coming in has been greatly reduced because of the unemployment. People are not paying taxes. That $1.8 trillion budget deficit this year, 4 times as high as last year's all-time high. Stop and think about that. Last year was an all-time high. Obama's budget deficit, and it is his. He has gone way beyond what the Bush budget for fiscal 2009 projected and allocated 4 times the deficit minimum as last year's all-time high. The bond market is calling the Federal Reserve out, said Mike Larson, a real estate analyst at Weiss Research Incorporated up the road here in Jupiter, Florida. Investors are saying that the Fed can't just print money out of thin air to finance a massive deficit. And the Federal Reserve Chairman, this was known at the outset, by the way. This isn't news. This is tested economic theory. Federal Chairman Bernanke acknowledged last Wednesday in congressional testimony large budget deficits could threaten financial stability by eventually eroding investor confidence and endangering the economy's prospects for long-term health. He's the number 2 ranking government official to warn this. Obama was the first about a week before Bernanke did. Now, when Obama says this deficit spending can't be kept up, it's an insult to everybody because it's his deficit spending. He was simply making an excuse to raise taxes, and wait till you hear all of the many tax increase plans they have for health care. And one big change from nationalized health care from 1993 or 94 to today. Back in 93 or 94, do you remember the Harry and Louise ads? Those ads, very effective, were run by the insurance companies opposing nationalized health care. This time around, insurance companies are all for nationalized health care. Do you want to know why? Obama's nationalized health care will require businesses and individuals to insure everybody who is uninsured, whether they want to be or not. That's 50 million new health insurance customers that will happen by government fiat if this health care bill gets passed and is signed into law. And then, with this as a backdrop, President Obama met with his cabinet today to deliver more than 600,000 jobs through his stimulus plan this summer. Federal agencies pumping billions into public works projects, schools, and summer youth programs. These are not jobs that will last. These are not career jobs. These are not even jobs that really pay anything. Obama ramping up his stimulus program this week, even as his wife stays in Paris to shop with the kids, while Obama continues to warn CEOs not to get on their jets and fly to Las Vegas. For a man who said he didn't have time to see any troops or to meet with Sarkozy or to have some quality time with Angela Merkel, the man had to get back and do that, and he got back yesterday and went and played golf at Andrews Air Force Base 90 minutes after arriving back from France, or wherever he was. And Michelle and the daughters are still over there on a sightseeing tour. To add insult to injury, Mikhail Gorbachev has now entered the world economic question with his own point of view, my friends. Thus, it is time for a Gorbasm. I realize that many of you listening to the program today may not know what a Gorbasm is. You are new to the program. Let's go back. It's 1987. It's Washington, D.C. The American left, the worldwide left, fearful, scared to death at Ronaldus Magnus. The cowboy is going to hit the nuclear button and blow everybody up. So their first meeting ever, Reagan and Gorbachev, scheduled in Washington. Gorbachev's Ilyushin 62 jetliner, technology to build stolen from Boeing, lands at Andrews Air Force Base. On the tarmac, assembled State Department people, Washington elites, and the media. The Ilyushin 62 taxis in. The front door opens. The steps are rolled into place so that the visiting dignitaries aboard Gorbachev's plane can deplane. Finally, he appears. The man with the expanding forehead birthmark.